Going all the way back to the beginning of the growing season, I thought it might be fun to go through the U.S. drought monitor month by month. Back in early April, of course, we were watching for drought in the southeast. It began to spread down in through central Florida. There are a lot of wildfires this spring in Florida, South Georgia, as there often are. During the month of May, it began to turn dry across the northern plains. Nothing too extreme yet, just the yellowish areas, but it was pretty dry going into June, and June was pretty dry. The drought became suddenly quite extreme over central and western North Dakota and through Montana. Kind of cleared up in the southeast. We started thinking maybe the southern plains would go dry, but that never really happened. Instead, during July, the drought expanded severely in central North Dakota, western North Dakota, and Montana. Grand Forks had some heavy rains, Grand Forks area, in late June that cleared things up there, but the rest of the Red River Valley was pretty dry. Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska, some pretty dry areas. But August brought some rainfall to much of the northern plains, and the worst of the drought shifted back into Montana, western North Dakota. A few pockets showed up in southern Iowa, but overall, things not too bad. Let's go through the movie one more time, zoomed in just a little bit. April, things looking pretty good. Northern plains, upper Midwest. Corn Belt's been just an ideal season for corn and beans down here. A little dry early in the summer, but drought never really took hold in the Midwest at all. A little bit of dry weather. Middle, late summer in Iowa, but mostly enough to get them through. And as we get toward the end of summer in the northern plains, the drought has really backed up into Montana. So how are we going to affect that? We have a real meandering jet stream pattern. The jets are fairly weak. There's going to be a lot of tropical moisture from Irma and its remnants, particularly in the Carolinas. The rest of the country is not going to have much rainfall this week. Remnants of Irma will move into the northeast and kind of sit. It'll become a little less torrential up there, I think, but it'll be fairly wet in New England and Quebec and eastern Canada. Rest of the nation this week is just not going to have anything other than spotty rains here and there. The temperatures this week, we're starting out pretty warm in the plain states, but overall as we move into the months of the weeks of September, we're going to see that heat getting beaten back down. And really cool weather not expected. There've already been a few spots of frost in North Dakota and Minnesota, and you might get one or two more, but I don't see a lot of really cool weather setting up this week. Moving into the second week now, that'd be September 17th through 23rd. About the same temperature-wise. We're not going to have a lot of heat anywhere. We're not going to be incredibly cold. And really, maybe one rain system moving out of the Rockies, but overall, not a lot of moisture expected really anywhere. So mild temperatures, not a lot of rain expected. The main focus of weather is, of course, in the tropics and where those storms end up going.